Welcome to the 2020 P6 Rate Swastika School Mathematics Prelim Paper 2 answers. Grab your pens and papers and let's get started. Question 1. The total of two numbers is 43.2 and their difference is 12.8. We'll circle some main numbers that we should take note of. Find a smaller number. So there are two numbers, right? And the difference is this. So the best way to do this question is to draw a model. Okay? So the first number and the second number. Okay? I'll just let either one be the bigger number. Okay? So I'll just let one be the bigger number. So the difference is 12.8, correct? And my total is 43.2. Find a smaller number. So I'll put the question mark here. So like a typical P3, P4 question, we just need to take 43.2 to minus 12.8. We're going to get 30.4. So this and this is 30.4. So we just need to divide by 2. And then we're going to get 15.2. Okay, that's it. So let's move on to the second question. The figure is made up of similar quadrants and squares. Find the parameter of the figure correct to one decimal place. We are seeing a lot of quadrants. Okay, I'm going to number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 quadrants. Quadrants are the curved sides. Okay, so how many squares are there? Sides of a squares are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're done counting. So let's start doing the question. Okay, so if this is 9 cm, that means this is also 9 cm, correct? Because it's the sides of a square, and also this is 9 cm. So do you realize and do you see that the radius of the quadrant is actually 9 cm also? Okay, so let's take this quadrant for example. We can see that the radius is 9. Okay, so my radius is 9 cm. So this means that my diameter is 9 plus 9, which is 18 cm. Okay, because we are finding circumference, so we need the diameter, and I'm going to find it first, okay, which is 18 cm. So let's start doing the question. So the circumference of one quadrant, just the curved part, is 1/4 times pi times diameter, which is 18. And we are going to get 14.13 cm. Okay, so how many quadrants do we have? We have 6. So let's just take 6 times 14.13. And then we have it 84.78 cm. Okay, so this 14.13 is for the curved side. Okay, I'm going to use my free hand. Okay, so the curved side is found. All 6 curved sides are found, and it is 84.78. And how many sides of the squares are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, and one side is 9 cm. So I'm going to get 72 cm. Okay, and we just need to add them together, and then we have to round off. Okay, adding them together will give me this answer. And rounding off to one decimal place. Okay, the first decimal place is the 10th place, which is here. Okay, I'm going to underline it. Then I'll look to the number on my right hand side. It's more than 5 because it's an 8. So I need to round up. Okay, I need to round up. And my answer will be 156.8 cm. Okay, one decimal place. And that's it. We are done with question 2. Let's move on to the next question. Question 3. Study the algebraic expressions that follow a pattern below. Find the value of W if number 6 is 65. Okay, so there's a pattern. And there's algebra involved. So we have to be extra careful, okay? So let's compare number 1 and number 2 first. From 13W to 11W, it's a decrease of, let's find the difference, 2W. Okay? So this part done. From 12 to 10, it's a difference of 2. So I decrease by 2. So I'm done. Okay, and I kind of sort of found the pattern. So the pattern is minus 2W and minus 2. Okay, so let's try it out and see if we take 11W plus 10 to minus 2W and minus 2, we get 9W plus 8. Okay, so 11W plus 10 minus 2W minus 2. I'm going to rearrange it, okay? So 11W minus 2W plus 10 minus 2. Okay, I'm going to get 9W plus 10 minus 2 is 8. And I got it. So I found my pattern. Alright, so let's see. Pattern number 4, pattern number 5, and pattern number 6. Let's do it here where there's more space, okay? So to find pattern number 4, I'll just take pattern number 3 to minus 2W and minus 2. I'm going to get 9W minus 2W plus 8 minus 2, which is 7W plus 6. Let's move on. 7W plus 6 minus 2W minus 2 is equals to 7W minus 2W plus 6 minus 2, which is 5W plus 4. One last one, 5W plus 4 minus 2W minus 2 equals to 5W minus 2W plus 4 minus 2 equals to 3W plus 2. Okay, and we have it. The number 6 is 3W plus 2. And they're telling us that 3W plus 2 equals to 65. We have to find W. So this is primary school algebra, so I would draw a model to show you how to do this question, okay? W, 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 and a 2. Okay, this gives me 65. Okay, so 3 W's will be equals to 65 minus 2, which is 63. Okay, you can see I'm just taking away the 2 so that my 3 W's are 63. So 3W equals 63. W will be equals to 63 divided by 3. And we have it. Okay, let's move on to question 4. In the figure below, ABCD is a square. So since it's a square, I'll draw these things to show that they're the same sides. Okay, and ADE is an equilateral triangle. Okay, lucky for us, AD is the side of a square. So if it's equilateral, that means that I can form a few isosceles triangles. I'll show you later. Okay, so find BEC. Okay, we are not given any angles, but we are given squares. Squares means we're dealing with 90 degrees, and equilateral triangles means we're dealing with 60 degrees. Okay, I'm going to show you how I get these numbers. So let's start. Triangle ADE is an equilateral triangle. So angle EDA is, I'm going to draw a line. Okay, triangle EDA is just 180 degrees divided by 3. So that's how I get my 60 degrees, okay? Because all angles in an equilateral triangles are the same. So ADC is this thing here, which is 90 degrees, because angles in a square, right angles, okay? And triangle EDC, can you see? EDC is actually an equilateral triangle. So this angle will be equals to this angle. Okay, so let us find out what is angle EDC first. We just need to do addition, which is 60 degree plus 90 degree, which is 150 degrees. Okay, So angle DEC will be equals to, I will take 180 to minus 150 and then divide by 2. Okay, I'm deducting this angle here, the full angle here, and I'm dividing by 2 because the remaining angles are shared between DEC and DCE. Okay, I'm gonna get 15 degrees. Okay, so this small part here is 15 degrees. And this is also 15 degrees because isosceles triangle. Okay, they are the base of isosceles triangles. Let's continue. So if this is 60 and this is 90, this means that I'm gonna need this same method, okay, to find out what is AEB or ABE. Okay, can you guys see? So I'm just gonna end up getting 15 degrees or so because this is 60 and this is 90. Okay, they're the same triangles. Okay, they're the same isosceles triangles. So that's why if this is 15, this will also be 15. Okay, so let's find BEC. But before that, I'm going to do it here. Before that, let us find out what is AED first. Okay, AED will be 60 degrees because it's an angle inside a equilateral triangle. So to find out what is BEC, you just need to minus. Okay, take your 60 degrees, which is the whole thing. I'm going to use another pen. This whole thing is 60 degrees. Okay, I'm going to take 60 to minus 15, minus 15. I'm going to get 30 degrees, and that's my answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is question 5. Devi had to fill as many jugs as possible with 10 liters of water. The capacity of each jug is 9/16 liters. So what was the most number of jugs that could be completely filled with water? So this question is trying to ask you how many jugs I can fill if I have my total is 10 liters, and each jug can contain 9/16 liters. Okay, so I need to pour into as many jugs as possible until I hit 10 liters. Okay, so how we do this question will be we use the rate technique. So 9/16 liters is 1 jug. Correct? So my total is 10 liters. How many jugs can I fill? I'm probably going to get a fraction. Okay. So this is divide and this is times. So we take 1 to divide by 9/16 and we times 10. Okay. On the calculator, you get this answer. Okay, so what's the most number of jugs that could be completely filled with water? It will be 17. Okay, so because the last jug will be only 7/9 filled. Okay, it won't be completely filled. Okay, so in this case, we got to round down, not round up. So depending on the question, we need to be alert. So the next one, how much of the water was left over? Give your answers in liters. So I have 17 jugs, correct? So 17 jugs, each jug is 9/16 liters. So 17 times 9/16, I'm going to get 9/16 liters. Okay? And my total capacity, the total amount of water I have is 10 liters. So I'll just take 10 minus 9/16. I'm going to get 7/16 liters. And that's how I get my answer. Okay, so a careless mistake that some students can make is that they put their answer as 7/9. When they ask you how much water was left over, you just put 7/9, which is wrong because 7/9 is 7/9 of a jug. We need to find out the amount of water and we have to continue with few more steps. Okay, so don't be careless. Let's move on to question 6. Question 6. At a shop, Alice paid $15.60 for 1 chocolate cake and 5 curry puffs. Ben paid $26.45 for 1 chocolate cake and 12 curry puffs. Find the cost of 1 chocolate cake. So the number of chocolate cakes both of them bought were the same. The only difference is the 12 curry puffs. Okay, so I'm going to draw model. So Alice and Ben. Okay. Okay, so Ben has one chocolate cake, so 1C and 12 piece, while Alice has 1C and 5 piece. So this is 1560, and this is 2645. So by now, after seeing how the model looks, I hope some of you have a bit of hint on how to do it, because if you can see here, the difference lies in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 career paths, and we can find the difference in the amount of money the both of them paid. So from here to here, it's just 2645 minus 1560, which is 1085. Okay, so this just means that 7 paths is 1085. So from here we can find out the price of one path. 1085 divided by 7, we get 155. And the question is asking us for the price of one chocolate cake. So maybe we can find 5. We continue here, 5 paths. It's 155 times 5, which is 775. So the price of one chocolate cake and 5 career paths is 1560. So to find the price of one chocolate cake, we just need to take 1560 to minus away 775. And we have our answer, 785. Okay? That's it, 3 marks. Let's move on. Use all the digits 6, 2, 3 to form the number for each box below. So, how many minutes are smaller than 4 hours? 1 hour, 60 minutes. Okay? 4 hours is 60 times 4. 240 minutes. So using all these digits, I have 1, 2, 3. My number of minutes has to be smaller than 240. So 2 has to come here, 3 has to come here, 6 has to come here. This is the only way we can get minutes that are smaller than 4 hours, okay? Because if we start from 3, then it will be more than 240. If we start from 6, it will be more than 240. Okay? So the answer is 236. Got it? So if I put 263, it's also wrong because it's more than 240. Okay, this is our only option. Okay? Let's go on to part B. How many minutes are closest to 5 hours? So 5 hours will just be 5 times 60, which is 300 minutes. Okay, so which one can I form so that it's closest to 5 hours? When they say closest, they didn't mean smaller. So I can actually be bigger than 300. Okay, so let's start with 3, and then we can put 2, 6. Okay, because this will be the closest. Another combination we can come up with that some of you might come up with is maybe 263. But 263, right, is not as close to 300 as 326. From 263, you need to add how much to become 300? You need to add 37. Okay, to become 300. For this one, you only need to minus 26 to become 300. That's why this is the answer. Okay. 3, 2, 6. Okay, how I get 37 is I took 300 to minus 263. Okay. So, let's move on to the next question. Question 8. Question 8. A baker had a total of 425 tarts and cupcakes. So tarts plus cupcakes is 425. And after selling an equal number of both types, he had 1/3 of the tarts and 1/4 of the cupcakes left. So tarts, cupcakes. Okay. 1/3 left. That means 2/3 sold. 1/4 left. 3/4 sold. Okay. What was the total number of tarts and cupcakes left? So 2/3 sold, 3/4 sold. But they are both equal number. Okay. So this is 2 units and this is 3 units. I need to make them the same because they sold the same number. Okay, so this time we need to make our numerator the same. Okay, so what's the common multiple of 2 and 3? It will be 6. Okay, so from 2/3, we have to make it 6. So I multiply by 3. Okay, so 6/9 sold. And 3/4, so I make it 6 times 2 times 2. Got it? So now 6/9 of the tarts sold is equals to 6/8 of the cupcakes sold. Do you see? 6 units and 6 units. They're the same now. Okay, now we can start doing this question. What was the total number of tarts and cupcakes left? So, tarts. This becomes over 9, right? I gotta make it over 9 also. Okay, so I times 3. So this is over 8, correct? So we gotta make it over 8 also. So 2/8. So what's the total number of units of tarts? It's 9. Okay, because it's over 9. So 9 is the total. And what's the total number of cupcakes? The units, 8. Okay, so it's 17 units. So 17 units is equals to 425. Okay, so what's the total number of tarts and cupcakes left? How much left? 3 units. How much left? 2 units. So total left is 5 units. We can just straight away find out what's 5 units using this method. Okay, same thing. Divide times. Okay, so 425 divide by 17 times 5. You're gonna get 125. Okay, so that's it. Okay, understand it? Then let's move on. Question 9. Tim had some books for sale. He sold some books on Saturday, and on Sunday he sold 1/4 of the remainder. So I'm gonna start drawing a model. I'm gonna draw a line here first. Okay, so on this is Saturday. Okay, so on Sunday he sold 1/4 of the remainder. So I drew 4 units here because the remainder is 4 units in total, and one of it belongs to Sunday. Okay, so after the sale, the ratio of the number of the books sold to the number of books left was 8:5. So this sentence here just means that this is my 8 units and this is my 5 units. Okay, so 3/4 of the remainder is equals to 5 units. Can you see? So what is 1/4 of the remainder? It's just 5 divided by 3/4 times 1/4, which is 5/3 units. Okay, and this belongs to Sunday. So I'm trying to compare everything using the units over here, okay, instead of using fractions. Got it? So this method, again, so I divide here, then I multiply here. So I take 5 divided by 3/4 times 1/4. I'm getting 5/3 units. Okay, it belongs to Sunday. So if my Sunday is 5/3 units, and my Saturday plus Sunday is 8 units, how many units is my Saturday? I can just take 8 units to minus my Sunday away. I'm gonna get 6 1/3 units. Okay, so all these units, they are fractions, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, so what was the ratio of the number of books sold on Saturday to the number of books sold on Sunday? So one thing that we are lucky is that we already know how many units is to how many units. Okay, because 5/3 is to 6/13. So I'm gonna show you how we do it. Saturday to Sunday. Saturday is 6/1/3. Sunday is 5/3. Okay, they are both over 3s. So I'm gonna make this improper fraction. It's gonna be 19/3 is to 5/3. Okay, so it's just 19:5. Okay, because they're both over 3s. That means 19 units is to 5 units. Got it? So my answer is 19 is to 5. Question 10. So there's membership promotion. If you're a member, your first laptop will be a 20% off. And if you're buying another laptop, they'll give you 40% off. Okay, but for non-members, you still get a discount, but lesser. So you are getting a 15% discount for each laptop you buy. Okay, no matter how many laptops you buy, you're only going to get 15%. Okay, so using the membership promotion coupon, Sue paid $2,940 for 2 laptops. How much would she have paid for one such laptop if she was not a member? So Sue is a member. Okay, so that means her first laptop, instead of paying 100%, she has 20% discount, right? So she's paying 80%. Okay, how about her second laptop? Second laptop has 40% discount, right? So instead of paying 100%, she will be paying only 60%. Got it? So the percentage she paid in total will be 140%. And it's this price. Okay, so 140% is equals to $2,940. Okay, so we need to find out what's 100% because 100% is the original price of my one laptop. Okay, without any discount. So 2,940 divided by 140 times 100. Using our calculator, we are gonna get 2,100. Okay, so this is original price. How much would she have paid for one laptop if she was not a member? Don't forget, if you're not a member, you still get 15% off. So if you're not a member, you are going to pay 85%. Okay, so 85% of my original price of a laptop, I'm going to pay this amount. Okay, the tank was partially filled with water at first, and a tap was turned on from 6 a.m. here, and the tank was completely filled to 48 liters at 10 o'clock. A line graph showing the volume of water in the tank at regular intervals of time was drawn up as shown below. So I realized that the scanning wasn't done well, so we couldn't really see the lines. So I already drew the lines, so it's a bit darker here. So if you really can't see it on your own soft copy or on your own printed sheets, just know that at 6 a.m. it's 4. Okay, at 7 it's 8, and at 8 it's 20, and at 9 it's 28. Okay, and then so now that you know the numbers, draw the lines on your own, then continue with this question. Don't just skip this question just because you can't see it. Okay, so for part A, complete the line graph from 9 to 10 with a straight line. So they already told us that at 10 o'clock will be 48 liters. So between 0 and 8, there's 2 spacing. So every space you see is 4. Okay, so 48 liters is just here. Let's draw a line. And that's it. We are done. A very simple 1-mark question. So let's move on to part B. What fraction of the tank was filled with water at first? At first, at 6 a.m., I already have 4 liters inside. 6 a.m. I'm on the tap. That means if at 6 a.m. I have 4 liters, that means it was already inside. Okay, so for part B, it's 4, which is the water at first. And what fraction of the tank? The tank is 48 liters. So this is the fraction. And obviously, we don't leave our answers not simplified. Just type into our calculator and we'll find the simplified answer, which is 1/12. And that's it, we get 2 marks. Pretty easy. So part C, what was the percentage increase in the amount of water in the tank from 8 to 9? So from 8 to 9, what's the increase? I increased from 20 to 28, correct? So I had an 8 liters increase. So when we want to find percentage increase, it's always the increase over original value. Original value is the value at 8 a.m. So it's 8 over 20 times 100%. Okay, you're going to get 40%. And that's it. That's another 2 marks for us. In the figure below, ABCD and AFED are trapeziums. CE here is equals to EF over here. So this is an isosceles triangle. So CEF is an isosceles triangle, okay? So they gave us 62 degrees here, and they gave us 42 degrees here, and they also gave us 80 degrees. So I need to find ACD. Where's ACD? ACD. I need to find this angle. Okay, so if this is an isosceles triangle, what is this angle and what is this angle? We can find it, okay? So angle E CF will just be, we take the total angles in the triangle, which is 180, we minus away this 80 here, and then we have to divide by 2. We're going to get 50 degrees. So all these here are 50. Okay? So ACD will just be 180 degrees minus 50 minus 42, which is 88 degrees. Okay? And the reason is because of the straight line. I'm going to draw a straight line. Okay? AF is my straight line. Okay? Because AFED itself is a trapezium. So the base, which is AF, is a straight line. So knowing that it's a straight line, and I have my 50 degrees here, I have my 42 degrees here, I can easily find this, which is 88. Okay? So that's 2 marks. So this is 88. I'm going to draw it inside. Okay? So now we need to find out what is ACB. Where's ACB? ACB. Okay. So ABCD is a trapezium, correct? And these are the parallel lines. One thing to know about parallel lines is that the angles in between parallel lines adds up to 180. So to find out this, right, we just need to take 180 minus 88 minus 62, and we'll get 30 degrees. Okay? So these two angles will add up to 180. This angle here and this angle here. Okay, so because they're in between the two parallel lines here and here. So another pair will be this and this. These two also add up to 180. Okay, so we just need to take 180 because it's a sum of these two angles minus 62 minus 88, and we can find out what is ACB, which is 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to write the answer down and I'm going to move on. So Peter claims that CD is perpendicular to DE. So when we see perpendicular lines, they will need to form 90 degrees. So CD and DE. Is this 90 degree? It's not. Okay. So the reason why is because, okay, I'm going to erase my question mark, okay, because it's blocking the space. You guys have heard of the term alternate angles, right? So there you have it. Okay, so there's actually a Z. I'm going to erase the rest of the red lines. Okay, so and we can use angle ACD to check. Okay, because with angle ACD is actually alternate. There's a Z here. Can you guys see? Because these two are trapeziums. These are trapeziums, so these two lines are parallel. So this is actually also 88. Okay, and it's because we can form this Z in between parallel lines. Okay, so that's it. Let's move on to question 13. In solid A is glued together using two similar cuboids and 12 identical cubes as shown. So one cube looks like that and one cuboid looks like that, okay? So we need to find the total area of the shaded face. So the shaded face is here. Okay, I'm going to erase it because I need that space. So basically it's this side, okay? Now, cubes means all same sides, okay? Length, breadth, height is all the same, but cuboid means there are some differences. So let's see what we can get from 18. So 18 is made up of 3 sides of 3 cubes, correct? So to find out what is one side, we just need to take 18 to divide by 3. We're going to get 6. So all these are 6. Okay, so now 18 is also made up of 2 breadths of a cuboid. Okay, so we just need to take 18 to divide by 2. We are going to get 9. So that means that this is 9. Okay, so now let's see. Over here, okay, there are 6 and 6 here that didn't get erased when they scanned, but okay, you guys know why it's 6, right? Because all cubes have the same sides. So if this is 6, this will also be 6. Got it? So if this is 12, that means this is 12 cm. Okay? Because 6 plus 6 is 12. And it also means that this is 12. Okay, which means that this is 12. Okay, from here to here is 12. Got it? So now, that means my height is also 6, right? So that means this is also 6, correct? So now let's find out what is this. Okay, so we need to take 17 to minus 6 and minus 6, which we are going to get as 5. Okay, because this is 6, that means this is 5. Okay, so my height of my cuboid is actually 5 cm. Got it? So now let's start finding the area of the shaded face. Okay, so I have 4 squares, so each square is 6 times 6, which is 36. So 36 times 4 is equals to 144. Okay, so how about this? This is this part here. This part. It's just 12 times 5, which is 60. So 144 plus 60 is 204 cm square. And there we have it. That's the area of the shaded face. Okay, so find the volume of one cuboid. We have all the dimensions we need. So just to just find the volume is just breadth times length times height. Just type it into a calculator and your answer will be this. And with that, we have 2 marks plus 2 marks. 4 marks. Okay, let's move on. Question 14. In the figure below, O is the center of the circle. And when O is the center of the circle, that means that we can form radiuses, okay? So OC is a radius, OA is a radius, and OB is also a radius. Okay? So let's continue. OAC is a triangle. OAB is also a triangle, and OBC is also a triangle. Okay, so there are 3 triangles, that's what they're trying to say. And AB equals AO. So if AO is my radius, that means my AB is also the same length as my radius. Okay, so and they give us one angle which is 17 degrees, OAC. Okay, so before we start doing any questions, we can actually see an equilateral triangle here. Okay, OAB is actually an equilateral triangle because they have all the same size. They are all the same length as the radius. Okay? And then we can also see an isosceles triangle, which is OAC. This triangle OAC is an isosceles triangle. So if angle OAC is 17 degrees, this will also be 17 degrees because they are at the base of an isosceles triangle. Okay? So coincidentally, 14a asks you to name an equilateral triangle in the given figure. So it will just be triangle OAB. Okay? Got it? So you can answer it as triangle AOB also. AOB. Nothing wrong. You can also answer it as triangle BOA. Okay? Your teachers will know what you're trying to say. So you still get that 1 mark. So now we need to find out what is angle OBC. OBC is over here. And so we already found out what's OAC and OCA because they're both 17 degrees. So now let's find out what is AOC. Okay? So angle AOC. We just need to take total angle in the triangle, which is 180, and minus away the 2 base angles, which is 17 and 17. I'm going to get 146 degrees. Okay? Just use the calculator. So this is 146. I'm just going to put it out. 146. Okay? So now let's find out what is AOB. AOB is part of a equilateral triangle, correct? So I just need to take 180 to divide by 3. I'm going to get 60 degrees. Got it? And what's BOC? If this is 60, my BOC will be equals to 146 degrees minus 60 degrees. Okay? And we're going to get 86 degrees. So this is 86. A bit cramped, but I hope you guys can see it. Okay? So since BOC is also an isosceles triangle, can you guys see? So OC equals to OB. So this is also an isosceles triangle. Can we find out what is at the base? we can. Okay, so angle OBC will just be equals to 180 degrees minus 86, and then I divide by 2. Okay, I'm gonna get 47 degrees, and that's my answer for part B, 2 marks. Okay, so let me repeat. Okay, so BOC is an isosceles triangle because OB is the radius, OC is the radius. So since it's an isosceles triangle, we found out what is the angle at the top, which is 86 degrees, and then we can just minus away and divide by 2. Okay, so you're gonna get 47 here, and that's it. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 15. The figure is formed by 2 identical semicircles overlapping each other, and the radius of each semicircle is 5 cm. O is the center, and AOB and COD are the diameters. Okay, so first things first, if my radius is 5 cm, my diameter will just be 5 plus 5, correct? So it's 10 cm. Okay, so this means that AOB and COD, they are equal to 10 cm. Okay, so the area of the shaded part is 20 cm square. Okay, they didn't correction tape this part away, so I think the previous student actually wrote 20 cm square here. We can see it here, so we can use it. Okay, and there's also a 5 here and a 5 here, which is obvious because the radius is 5 cm. That's why he wrote 5 here. Okay, so the perimeter of the shaded part OBD is 18 cm. Okay, got it. Okay, let's start with the question. Use the calculator value of pi, find the area of the figure. Correct your answer to 2 decimal places. Okay, before we do anything, let us find out what we can do with this 18 cm. Okay, so if this is 5 and this is 5, to find out what is dB, I'm going to use my free hand. Okay, to find out what is dB, what we need to do is just to take 18 cm to minus away the radius here and the radius here. Okay, and we're going to get 8 cm. So this shaded green part is actually 8 cm. Okay, so let's calculate the area of the figure. Let us find out what is the area of one semicircle first. So area of one semicircle is half times pi times r, correct? Which is equals to half times calculator pi times, what's my radius? 5 times 5, correct? I'm gonna get 39.2699 cm square. Okay, I'm leaving it in 4 decimal places because we need to round up. We need to round to 2 decimal places later, and I'm not done with the question yet, so I like to leave a few numbers more than what I need. Okay, so it's more accurate. So this is the area of one semicircle. Okay, but do you realize that there's a shaded part that's 20 cm square? We need to minus that away. Okay, so 39.2699, we minus away 20, we're gonna get 19.2699 cm square. Okay, so we just need to add them together. I'm gonna start shading. Okay, so this 39, I'm gonna use another color. This 39.2699 is the area of this whole thing. Okay, because it's one semicircle. Okay, I'm gonna use another color now. I'm gonna use like orange. So this 19.2699 is actually here because I used the area of a semicircle to minus away 20. And so this is 19. So to find the area of the whole figure, I just need to add my pink and my orange together. Okay, which is 39.2699 plus 19.2699. Okay, I'm going to get 58.539. Okay, and I need to round off to 2 decimal places, so I'll underline 3. And since I underline 3, I need to look to my right hand side. Okay, so it's a 9, which is more than 5, so I need to round up. Okay, so I'm gonna get 58.54. Okay, cm square, and that's the answer, 58.54 cm square. Okay, I rounded off to 2 decimal place. Okay, let's move on to the parameter. Okay, using pi equals to 22/7, find the parameter of the figure. Give your answer as a mixed number in the simplest form. So let's expect us to find a weird improper fraction. Okay, so I'm gonna erase the pink and orange part because we don't need it anymore. But I'm not going to erase the crooked green line here that shows 8 cm because we need it. We are dealing with parameter. Okay, so let's find out what's the circumference of a semicircle. Okay, so it's just half times pi times diameter. My diameter is 10, correct? So I'm just going to put 10 here. I'm going to get 15, 5/7 cm. Okay, so this 15, 5/7 is the circumference of is a curved part, okay, of the whole semicircle. So do you realize that this shaded part is actually 8 cm? So I actually need to minus away 8 cm. Okay, I'm going to get 7, 5/7 cm. Okay, so I will erase the green part now so that I can use another color to explain it. Okay, so now this orange part, I'm going to use freehand, so it's going to be a bit crooked. Okay, so this semicircle is actually just 15, 5/7, correct? We found it here. So let's use same thing. I'm going to use a pink color. So I used 15, 5/7 and I minus away 8, correct? Because just now we found out that the green part here was 8. So I'm going to get 7, 5/7, and the 7, 5/7 is actually here. Okay, so this part, 7, 5/7. Okay, for those of you who needs to see the green color, I'm going to draw it back, okay? So the green color here is actually 8. Okay, it's 8 cm. So, and that's how I got 7, 5/7. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing the question. So what I need to do now is I need to add them together. 15, 5/7 plus 7, 5/7. And we're not done here, okay? Because we still have this part, AO and OC. AO and OC are radiuses, so it's 5 plus 5. And I'm going to get 33, 3/7. Okay, and that's it. That's just my answer. Let's move on to question 16. Question 16. At first, Ben had some red, blue, green marbles. And during a game, he removes 54 red marbles, gave away 40% of the blue, and increased his green marbles by 25%. And after the game, the ratio of the number of red to blue to green is 3:1:5. So the total number of marbles he had before and after the game was the same. Okay, this question is very they didn't give us a lot of numbers to play around with. Okay, but they did give us percentage and ratio. And they also told us that the total number at the end is the same as at first. So we can work with all these things, okay? So I need you to be fully focused when you listen to the explanation because it's not going to be easy, okay? And anytime you need to fast forward or slow down, just press the pause button or go back on your own, okay? So I'm going to start now. Red is to blue is to green is 100%, 100%, 100% at first, correct? So this is 100% of red, and this is 100% of blue is to 100% of green. Okay, so I'm gonna space this out a bit. So what happened to the red is I minused away 54. What happened to the blue is that I minused away 40%. And what happened to the green was that I added another 25%. Okay, so after that, it will become 60%, correct, of blue and 125% of green, correct? So for red, I cannot do anything because I'm not dealing with percentage here. Okay, so I'm going to leave it blank. And after that, my ratio became 3:1:5. Okay, so from here, what we can see is that 5 units equals to 125% of green. Okay, so that means that 1 unit equals to 125% divided by 5, which is 25% of green. Okay, and this also means that 3 units equals to 25% times 3, which is 75% of green. So what I'm doing here is I'm making it, I'm comparing it all with the percentage of green. Okay, so my red, green, and blue became 75% is to 25% is to 125%. Okay, they're all of green. Okay, so what's the total percentage? It's 125 plus 25 plus 75, which is 225%. Okay, so that means at the beginning, there's also 225% of green. Okay, got it? So all these percentages here, here, and here, they're all in terms of green. Okay, so in the beginning, red plus blue equals to 225% minus away 100%. Okay, which is 125%. So this is because, like I said here, the total is 225% of green. Okay, so if I take away 100% of green, that means I'm left with 125% of green, which belongs to red and blue. Okay, and then now here we are left with 60% of blue, correct? We can find out what 60% of blue is in terms of green. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so 60% of blue is equals to 25% of green. Okay, we can see it from here. I'm going to circle it. 60% of blue is equals to 25% of green. Okay, so that's why we can compare it. And I want to find out at first how much. Okay, so I'll find out what's 100% of blue in terms of green. Same thing, just use a calculator. Do this method that I always do. 25 over 60 times 100 equals to, you're going to get a mixed number, so don't be too afraid. Okay, it's just 41 2/3% of green. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing it here. Okay, so wait, so the percentage of red will just be 125% of green minus away 41 2/3% of green. Okay, so I'm going to get 83 1/3% of green. Okay, let me repeat. Okay, so in the beginning it's the same as in the end. So in the end we found out that there's a total of 225% of green. Okay, which is here. And then since they are the same, so that means at first there's also 225% of green, and I minus away 100% of green. So that means red and blue, they add up together to 125% of green. Okay, and over here we found out that there's 60% of blue left, and this 60% of blue is actually 25% of green, which is what you're seeing here. 60% of blue equals to 25% of green. Okay, so then I need to find out how much they have at first. Okay, because what fraction of the marbles were red at first, correct? So what I need to do is to find out how much of the 125% of green belongs to the blue. Okay, and I found out that 100% of blue is actually 41 2/3% of green. So 41 2/3% of green plus 83 1/3% of green will give you 125%. So that's why over here you see me minusing it. Okay, so we can find out our answer for part A already. Okay, what fraction of the marbles were red at first? There were 83 1/3% of red over 225% because that's the total. Okay, so all these are of green. And my answer will be 10 over 27. Okay, I know it looks very complicated here. Like you have a fraction and another fraction, but just type into your calculator and you'll get this answer. And you'll get that 2 marks. Okay, so let's do part B. How many green marbles had he increased during the game? So, red is to blue, is to green, is 83 1/3, is to 41 2/3, is to 100, is to 100, because this is at first. Okay, so if you use a calculator and you add all these three numbers together, you're going to get 225%. So, after that, it became 75%. I'm going to draw the percent. Okay. It became 75% is to 25% is to 125%. Okay. So I need to find out how we can add our 54 into our working. Okay. So my rate decreased from 83 1/3% to 75%, and that decreased in percentage is actually just 54. Okay, so let's do it. 83 1/3 minus 75 equals to 8 1/3. Okay, and this 8 1/3% is your 54. We need to find out how many green marbles he increased during the game. So all this percent, right, is already of green. That means we're comparing with green. So we just need to find out what is 25%. Okay, so we just need to take this over this times 25. Okay, so this is divide and this is times. Okay, so my 25 is here, so I can't connect like that. Okay, so it's just 54 divided by 8 1/3 times 25. Okay, use your calculator, you're gonna get this answer, 162 marbles. And that's it, you're done with it. So that's why I say it's a bit complicated, because we're dealing with fraction, ratio, percentage, and numbers at the same time. Okay, but it'll be very worth it once you understand this question. Okay, so I'm gonna draw lines because I think it's a bit messy. Okay, so this is part B. Got it? And the rest is part A. Last question. Farid used circles to form figures that follow a pattern. The first 4 figures are shown. So they gave us all the number of circles, and they want us to find out how many circles there are in figure 5 and figure 6. So let us do some calculations, okay? So from here to here, it's plus 5. And then here to here, it's plus 3. Then here to here, again, plus 5. So it's 5, 3, 5, 3 lah. So from here, we're just plus 3. So 26 plus 3 is just 29. Okay, that means the next one will just be plus 5. And that's how we get 1 mark. So 29 plus 5 is 34. Okay, so what is the difference in the number of circles Farid would use for figure 10 and 12? So pattern that, so when you see patterns like that, like 5, 3, 5, 3, what you can do is actually you can jump. So from the first figure to the third figure, you're actually adding 8. You see? So from the third figure to the fifth figure, you're actually adding 8 also. Okay? So I'm going to write it here, okay? So that you guys can see properly. So from figure 1 to figure 3, what you are seeing here is 21 minus 13, which is 8. Okay? So from figure 4 to figure 6, what you're actually seeing here is also a difference of 8. So what does this mean? From figure 10 to figure 12, my difference will also be 8. Okay, the difference will always be 8 when I jump from 1 to 3 or 4 to 6. Okay, when my figure number jumps like that, it's always a difference of 8. Okay, as you can see it right here. So my answer would just be 8. we can do some more examples if you guys don't really see it. So we can actually just choose, for example, figure 2 to figure 4. So anyway, this is the answer, okay? So from figure 2 to figure 4, it is 26 minus 18, which is also 8. You see, every time we have, we are jumping 2 figures, our difference is actually 8. Okay, I hope you guys understand by now. Alright, I'm going to move on to part C. I'm going to erase this. Okay, part C. How many circles will he use for figure 41? Okay, so from figure 1 onwards, from figure 1 is 13, correct? So every time we move forward by 2, we are actually having a difference of 8, correct? We are adding 8. So for figure 41, we need to get rid of the first figure first. Okay, so from figure 41, we minus 1 figure, we are actually getting 40, correct? So this 40, I will divide by 2. Okay, to find out how many steps of 8 I moved. Okay, so there are 80 steps of 8. Okay, I call it 1 step, 1 step, 1 step. Okay, so after the first figure, I'm moving 20 steps of 8. So 20 steps of 8 is just 160. Correct, we just calculate using calculator. So 160 is after the first figure. So we have to add back the first figure. The first figure is 13. So that's how we get 173 as our answer. Okay, so yeah, that's the answer. And for those of you who really can't see it, maybe I can use another figure number to show you guys. So if you want to find out how many circles there are in figure 5, this one, we can just use this same method also. So from figure 5, I need to minus away 1. So I'm getting 4, right? So 4, I need to find out how many steps I move. How many steps of 8 I move. So I divide by 2. I'm getting 2 steps of 8. Okay, so 2 steps of 8 means 2 times 8, which is 16. And from 16, we need to add the first figure back. Because the first figure is 13 circles, we need to add it back. We are getting 29. So you see, figure 5 is 29. And there we have it. So it doesn't matter how big your figure is. Okay, you need to understand that after the first figure, which is 13 circles, you are always moving steps of 2. Okay, and we can find out how many steps of 2 we moved, and then we add back the first figure. Okay, so I'm going to erase away all this. And yeah, we've come to the end of this paper. I hope you learned from this paper. And if you don't, maybe try and rewatch it and redo it on your own. And I'll see you in the next paper that will be posted in 2 days' time.